I got your mom's big sisters. Now I got it all.
Perfect.
We are very proud to host this event this evening. I'd like to also welcome to our home Michael Douglas.
My father was from Belarus, and so looking over where he came from, I found out that his town no longer existed because it was downwind from Chernobyl. And Chernobyl is in the Ukraine, was on the border, and most of the area in Belarus was destroyed. And then later on, I did a movie called The China Syndrome. And in that movie, it was about a nuclear meltdown in a power plant. And coincidentally, about 12 days after the movie opened, the 3 Mile Island happened. So I really began to feel an epiphany, and that this was an issue. And going back to when I was a child, one of the first things I remember seeing was when they showed in the newsreel footage that one bomb, and not conceiving the fact that one bomb could destroy that much of an area. Now, of course, we know we're dealing with 1,000 times that much. I think the issue about 2020 is so important because, as John Fitchell says in his article, we're racing against time because you cannot keep this genie in a bottle. We'd like to have all these regulations and controls, but science is taking over. And unless we can eliminate weapons much sooner than later, I work with a group called Global Zero, they're out to 2030. We have to do it much, much faster. And with all due respect to the START negotiations, it was a nice beginning of reduction, but I certainly hope that we're going to see between the Soviet Union and the United States a much more dramatic reduction, much more quickly.
Mayors of the world, thank you for being here in this room at this very historical moment in America to encourage and inspire all of us that we can do it. What the big power of the government can't do, we can. We of this planet are still in our embryonic stage. But with your efforts and the strong wishes of the people of the world, I know we can, and we will, create a peaceful world for ourselves and for this planet. One day, not too far in the future, we will see ourselves living peacefully and having fun together on this planet without war. Let's look forward to that day and start working intelligently to make that happen. Clearly, if the whole world stood up and spoke out for world peace, we'll get it. Please pass my message to the people of your towns and the cities. I say to them that we can do it. We can do it together with your help, with the help of the mayors of the world. Our voice will be made stronger. We are the family of peace. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for your wisdom and courage to speak out as the mayors of the world. You're opening the door to many professional people who will learn from your stand. Let's all stay well till we achieve world peace. Part of the people. Thank
you. New York City and people around here have saved Hiroshima and have made Hiroshima what it is, and also have helped create the message of Hibakusha. Steve mentioned the number of girls, junior high school students who died. And the reason was they were mobilized during the war to tear down houses, to create the so-called fire zones. Firebombing was all over during the war, and the only way to prevent the fire from spreading is to create an empty space by tearing down houses. And junior high school students, and especially girls, because boys were mobilized in factories, already, were working early in the morning because it was hot during the summer. And most of them simply wore just one shirt, a blouse, and a hot flash, basically killed most of them. But Norman Cousins, who was the editor of the Saturday Review magazine, which was headquartered in the early 50s, came to Hiroshima and actually saw the situation and saw the girl's fate. At the time in Japan, the marriage was arranged, and quite often it was arranged based on photographs. And the girls whose faces had so-called keloid, and we still don't know why keloid develops, but it's a combination of heat and radiation. But anyway, those girls really lost any hope for life or for living. But Norman Cousins created a wonderful set of arrangements so that 25 girls from Hiroshima were invited to New York City and stayed in the homes of New Yorkers and people in the suburbs of New York for a year to receive treatment at Mount Sinai Hospital, which still is the best hospital in the world, but at the time it was certainly the case. And they received this treatment, and their appearance certainly improved. But more important than that, these girls found hope in life. Their entire life had been gone, and their families had been gone, and they were desperate. But through the goodwill of New Yorkers, Americans, physicians, and everybody around them, they were able to continue to live. And that's why Shigeko is here, and all the other 24 girls are still, well, some of them actually died because of old age, and one died during the operation. But anyway, that you, New Yorkers, gave Hibakusha and bombed the city and death a new life. And I'd like to thank you. Well, you personally were not involved, you're too young for that, but anyway, thank New York and New Yorkers and America for treating our Hibakusha in such a humanitarian way. And the end message that these Hibakusha have come up with is that no one else should ever suffer as we did.